Joining me on the line as he does every time this week. It's Fridays usually, but who knows what's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com is on the line, and I was just explaining to Mike the greatness that is Taco John's.
I now officially have a problem because there is no Taco John's out in New Jersey. Obviously, we've got Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting some Taco John's at some point and really testing that theory.
So, but yeah, I just thought I didn't know that. I guess when I said Taco John's earlier in our conversation, I wasn't. I guess I didn't know if it was just an Iowa thing or if it was around. But I guess it's in 22 states. So if you know the greatness that is Taco John's, put your soft shell up in the air. I just want.
Is that like official marketing? Because if it's not, they really should consider that. Like Taco John's, consider sponsoring our show because we like tacos.
You would if I had a taco sponsorship, I would be just in heaven because I love it. But you know what I did? I did text or tweet them one time. I had an idea for a soft shell, okay? So you take their standard soft shell, which is, for you, the equivalent. Yeah. It's the same thing as at Taco Bell. But you put potato Olays in it, right? That's all all you're doing is adding potato Olays and ranch.
Ooh.
I tried it at home, and I'm like, I tweeted at them, and I'm like, soft shell plus potato Olays and ranch, you'll print money. Just remember me.
or lime crema sauce. I'm sorry, but lime crema sauce is fantastic. My wife likes to do that whenever we do homemade fajitas.
Oh, yeah? And
that's just, I think it's as simple as you take sour cream and then you infuse or you put the zest of the lime and the juice of the lime in there. I forget how exactly, but it's just something so beautiful, and it's on that same level as like a ranch. So,
you know, one of the best tacos I ever had was?
What?
I got a taco at a truck stop in between Cancun and Merida in the Yucatan, and it was like the best taco I've ever had. It was awesome.
Well, yeah, you're basically at the source at that point.
Yeah, no, God dang, that would have been my...
You've gone to the source of the matrix, man.
That's source code there.
Back to where it all began.
Let's see, hold on, I'm thinking of when that was in between my freshman and sophomore year of college is when that would have been.
Well, since we're talking about taco joints, before we leave this glorious subject that I could talk about for hours, I want to give a little shout to a restaurant by me called the Mexican Mariachi Grill in Hamilton, which is I believe that's a family run, they're not a chain, but I think they have more than one store.
Yeah.
And they're just, you get your bang for your buck there. And one of my favorite memories of sort of pairing movies with food is right before we went to see Deadpool with friends, we went there for chimichangas. And on their sandwich board,
yeah,
they had a whole Deadpool sort of message with the symbol and everything, and that's
awesome.
That's when you know. Oh man, now I'm just missing the Hamilton 24 theater that used to be there that is now boarded up, probably waiting for someone to own it. And I wish I had enough money because they had a IMAX and a 70 millimeter projector and a Dolby, and
you know what?
It was just a...
I'm moving out there, and we're going to team up, and we're going to leave our lives of writing and radio behind, and we're going to be movie theater gurus.
Oh, I'll do both.
Okay, we can do both. Whatever you say.
I'd love to do both.
Now I want tacos.
As long as the movie theater's bringing it in.
That, and I could go for enchiladas supremas from El Azteca right now as well.
Okay. You know what? That's a bonus show right there. That is a bonus show where it's just...
Or if you ever come out this way, I got to take you to Tasty Tacos.
I need to go out there because not only do I have a friend that's out there, but I've just been wanting to go to Iowa and just explore.
Tell your friend that does live here in Urbandale that he needs to try Tasty Tacos. And the other place I'll have to take you is Taco Casa, which we could talk more about that later. But anyways, Mike, we need to get to movies. We've spent 5 minutes talking about tacos, and it's awesome. But
and judging on the movie that we have this week, I think you're going to want to stick to tacos.
Okay.
You like when I get angry, so you're going to enjoy this.
355 is the first movie we're going to talk about. Rated PG-13 in action/thriller. That's 2 minutes and 2 hours and 4 minutes. It's 2 minutes and 4 hours long.
First of all, that is a wild way of bending time, and I think Matthew McConaughey would like to have a word with you.
Yeah.
Second, I wish it was 2 minutes.
All right, so this is what is this? This is like some sort of spy movie, right?
Stop me if you've heard this one. There is a top secret hard drive that can unlock anything on the internet, any computer system, and it has gotten out in the open. And the only people that can stop it from really like causing damage is a group of spies.
Now, stop me if you haven't heard this, but once you get that, don't you just get on the computer world and just delete every bit of information about such device, and then nobody knows where it is?
There's no information about it on the internet, but the thing is, it's a top secret hack that we're really giving this more brain power than it deserves. This movie rips off Sneakers and Mission Impossible 1996, and it made me mad. You are wasting a good cast here because I love Jessica Chastain. I love Lupita Nyong'o. I love Diana Kruger. I love Penelope Cruz. Who am I forgetting?
Fan
One
Bing
more
Bing.
cast member that I'm forgetting. Fan Bing Bing. Yes, I didn't forget her, but it's like depending on what source you go with, her name is written different ways. Like I think Bing Bing Fan is on the poster, but then in the credits for some sites it's Fan Bing Bing, and I just wanted to make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
You got Sebastian Stan in here. You've got the Winter friggin' Soldier. No, I'm angry enough that I'm going to use my bleep privilege. You got the Winter Soldier in here. And you just, this is a lazy rehash of spy that we've seen before, but it goes way too fast. There is no intrigue. There's no build up. It's just not, they delayed this for a year instead of putting it on Peacock. They should have put this on Peacock and just gotten it over with. You mean to tell me this was a movie that needed to be delayed for a year to be in theaters only?
I guess.
You got Oscar nominees and winners in this cast.
I think do you think there's let me ask you this, in that idea of what needs to go to like a network or the big screen, have the movie companies really figured that out yet? Because that's got to be new territory for them, right?
It's vaguely new territory, but it's not all that new.
Okay.
I think it's something that has become more of a focus in the rising and falling world of pandemic cinema. Because now it's looking like some countries are closing their theaters up again. It looks like we are in the middle of another surge.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. The one you forgot, Diane Kruger.
I said Diane Kruger.
Did you? Oh, I must have missed it when I was looking at her beautiful eyes.
I love Diane Kruger in Glorious Bastards Forever because her Bridget von Hammersmark was...
I didn't put it together that she was, what's her name from National Treasure?
Dr. Abigail Chase. Which, okay, quick sidetrack because my friend, editor, and colleague Sean O'Connell over at Cinemablend.com got to do the interviews for this movie. And like a champ, the guy goes straight for the National Treasure 3 question with Diane Kruger.
Yeah.
Would you believe they have not contacted her yet for that movie?
Really?
Apparently, according to her, they have, like, obviously when Book of Secrets came out in 2007, check my math, folks, when Book of Secrets came out with a hit, they were obviously talking about doing another one. But she says that there apparently wasn't a script, despite what other people have said in the past, and she was never contacted.
Weird.
And I just think that's a Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor mistake that's waiting to happen if they don't bring her back, because researching the whole thing for a write-up I did yesterday, which you can read on the site, Jerry Bruckheimer most recently said that, we're doing a movie and a Disney Plus series, and the movie's supposed to bring the original cast back. And I just don't see it being as fun if you don't bring back Abigail Chase along with, Benjamin Gates and... I'm trying to think of Justin Bartha's character's name.
Looney.
Riley.
I was in the ballpark, kind of.
What did you say his name was?
Looney. I
couldn't. The Hangover, man.
All right. Well, that'd be cool.
You got the wrong Doug.
Yeah. Well, it was 2 syllables and it had a Y on the end. So I was in the ballpark. So get off my ass about it.
Speaking of that, just quick circle back to the taco subject. There is a burrito at Moe's called the Wrong Doug.
That's awesome. I want to try that. I have another burrito story for you, but we can wait. It's from El Azteca. We call it the burrito.
Oh, yeah, you were saying.
You can't just say burrito. You have to go burrito.
Ooh, I like that.
Because it's
I like that. That's
it's
a lot
like
of
a
verb for
foot
that.
long and it's like 4 inches wide. Whose horse is that? All right, so 355 is awful.
355 had a burrito tie-in.
So, or let me do this: 355, the worst movie of the year so far, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
But
cool.
that's not a hard or that's an easy thing to do because it's like it's the only big release this weekend.
Yeah,
We're
but
getting to that time, folks.
but still, it's fun
Yeah.
to say the worst movie of the year.
Oh man.
Pretty much. All right, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. The Tender Bar. I don't know anything about this.
Oh, this is just hitting Amazon Prime after doing a limited theatrical release for awards consideration towards the end of last year, and it is a memoir that first of all, it's directed by George Clooney. So he I remember last year he did The Midnight Sky,
Okay.
which the Midnight Sky was not good.
Okay.
And from what I'm hearing, Tender Bar is okay. It sounds like it's a step up from The Midnight Sky, but it's based off of the memoir by J.R. Moringer, and it's about this young boy who, kind of learns the ins and outs of life and becomes inspired to want to become a writer by his uncle, played by Ben Affleck, who's a bartender in, I think, Massachusetts in the 1970s.
Oh, big surprise.
And then Ty Sheridan from Mud, and he was this young Cyclops in the X-Men movies. He plays the older version of JR when he's like going through college, and it looks good.
Holy crap!
I'm
Ron
hoping-
Livingston's in this?
Yeah, and Christopher Lloyd as his grandfather.
That's awesome. Okay, I may be into this.
Yeah, well, if you are into it, and I'm certainly excited to watch it myself because I like Clooney. I do like him as a director too. Ides of March and Good Night and Good Luck are two of the most underrated films that he's done that we don't talk about nearly enough. And just seeing Matt Damon. Well, I like when Matt Damon's this charming. But when you see Ben Affleck this charming, it's always it's nice. Like I was rewatching part of Sum of All Fears the other day because Pluto just happened to have it on, and I was flipping through there because it's really cool to see what they got on. But I kind of want to see more. I wish we got to see more of his Jack Ryan.
You know what? I don't disagree with that. I remember liking that movie. I had no issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to sort of follow up the acts of like Alec Baldwin and especially Harrison Ford in that role. But I really liked him in it. Like I was weird enough that it was like the day after prom, I think it came out. Or no, the weekend of senior prom came out, and I was like, hey guys, do you want to go see a movie the next day? Because we were the quiet crowd that didn't really go to Wildwood afterwards. So naturally, everybody fell in line with me because I'm a true leader, and they said yes.
Well, if I would have been there and offered to take everybody out for burritos, you would have.
You would have won. I would have yielded to burritos. Yield to the burrito, folks.
All right, so I don't know what the hell we were talking about, but the Tender Bar sounds like it's good. We can't wait for it to get the chance to watch it, correct?
Yeah, and it's currently available on Prime Video if you are a subscriber.
Real quick, an interesting side podcast sometime. Who's the more successful person, Ben Affleck or Matt Damon?
Ooh, see, I don't. Oh man.
See, don't go into it because we're not. Nope. Don't go into it. Don't go into it.
The only qualifier I will throw out there, and it's not going to be a long answer, is it depends on how you look at their careers. Because if you look at them as an actor versus a creative force, that's where the meat of the burrito lies. But we will talk about that on another day.
Oh, the movie burrito.
It's a hungry day here, folks.
It is. It really is. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.
We're going into 2022 hungry to crush and dominate, which I think is a perfect segue for another story we've got.
All right. Actually, a quick sidebar, just because we didn't get to talk about it last week. Betty White passed.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this before we were going to record, but Betty White passed on New Year's Eve at the age of 99. She hung in there almost to her 100th birthday.
Technically, she is 100, but because of the leap years.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't believe that, but whatever. It's Betty White. I'm rolling the go on a little bit of faith.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically all you really, you could just use those three words and everybody knows what you mean. It's Betty White.
Yeah.
The woman was an icon when it came to television, between the Golden Girls and being a really prolific game show guest. That's where she met her third husband, Alan Ludden.
Yeah.
Alan Ludden, who was like the love of her life. And apparently, according to Carol Burnett, her final word was Alan.
Yeah.
It's, the woman was kind to animals. She was an icon. You can't say enough good things about Betty White, and she will be missed, and her memory is a blessing.
Betty White, we wish you the best in the great beyond. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line right now. Sorry to sidetrack. I just wanted to bring that up quick.
No, that is well earned.
You know what? I want to start with the Spider-Man stuff real quick because there's a couple different levels to this. We were talking off the air. There's a couple different Spider-Man stories out there. And the other one I wanted to bring up that I forgot about, did you see what the MCU artist did with Tom Holland this week?
Yeah, the Venom suit.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
I wrote that up on the site, and I have to say, the thing that really amazes me with that is your typical Venom suit. It's very clean. Like the lines, the design is very clean. This is body horror nightmare because not only does the white spider in the center look smudged, but you've got like the white veins protruding from it, and then you've got the black veins going up Tom Holland's neck in this art. And to clarify for the folks at home, this there is a concept artist who worked on No Way Home. And he said, yeah, while I'm waiting to get the official go-ahead to show you some of my designs for that movie, I threw together what Tom Holland could look like in a potential future movie, #Spider-Man 4. So if that is any indication, which, this is just speculation at this point.
Yeah.
We might see Venom in the beginning of this rumored next trilogy for Tom Holland, because there's already been rumors saying that not only is he getting a new trilogy, but it might be disconnected from the MCU.
I'm okay with that.
It kind of makes sense depending on how you read the end of the last movie.
I'm cool with it. And you know what? The way they did this costume, or this guy did the art, it's like you said, it takes all the best parts of the Venom from Tom Hardy's and mixes it with what the black suit should look like, instead of what we got in Spider-Man 3.
It's very organic.
Yes.
And that's what I like about it, because Venom is a symbiote. He's a parasite. It's not, his mind is so disordered, as we've seen in Venom, like the whole symbiosis he has with Eddie and it is so disordered. And to see that reflected in this suit, it's a very deep kind of interpretation of that concept. And I like it. I really like it the more we talk about it.
It looks very cool. The other couple stories kind of stemming from No Way Home. I think, is it safe to do spoilers now?
I think so. The movie's made like over $1 billion. I think if you haven't seen it by now, you either know to turn away or you just don't care. But we're just going to say spoilers for a $1.4 billion grossing movie that has been dominating the box office charts.
So one of the things that I saw coming out this week was Andrew Garfield, leading up to No Way Home, kept saying no and denying that he was going to be in the movie. No surprise, he was, along with Tobey Maguire, but there's been a whole bunch of uptick in people wanting another Spider-Man, another Amazing Spider-Man, and it seems like both Tobey and Andrew might be kind of into it. But the reason I bring it up is people have been asking Andrew Garfield about the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and he's been answering in a very similar way of how he was answering for No Way Home. So now a lot of people out there are sitting around going, all right, we're getting Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I don't think you can pay credence to that in either direction, just for the sheer fact that anybody that's asked a Marvel question is almost automatically going to say no or evade.
But at this point, Sony, if they did another Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or an Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, neither one of those movies are going to fail, right?
And Sony would be dumb not to do it, because if my mindset is correct, those movies are not MCU connected. Those movies are that was pre-MCU, so that's part of why there's always been this rift between Sony and Marvel, because Sony still has basically the rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they have to form a partnership with Disney for the Tom Holland movies, where they share like a huge amount of money with Disney. I think Disney probably profits a little more. I don't think they'd have to do that with Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire's movies. I don't even think they have to do that with Venom or Morbius, which Morbius got pushed to April.
Yeah.
Which that's another interesting thing we can sort of sidetrack. But the thing is, Sony does have a machine to print money. And at the very least, I would love to see Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man get another movie, and maybe, have an MCU sort of polish to it, just because he was never the problem with those movies. Those movies were just kind of misguided, even though they're fun. Like, I remember seeing Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the thing with that movie is, when you think about it deeply, it has problems. But when you're sitting there watching it, it's such a spectacle that it's kind of easy to get wrapped up in it.
It is, and I still think, and this may be like an oversimplification of it, I always wondered if you would have named, instead of calling those the Amazing Spider-Man movies, if you would have called it the Ultimate Spider-Man and put it more in the Ultimate Universe, where things are a little bit different, where you can Blue Electro or Harry Osborn version of the Goblin at the end, where it's a little bit different. It's not your typical one. I always wondered if that would have been enough to kind of, and with Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, where he's a little bit more cool and like the skater and, that kind of thing. I've always wondered if that would have solved a little bit of that problem.
Yeah, it really is sort of approach, isn't it? Because it's amazing how, I think Spider-Man's probably the best example of this. There's so many different names that mean so many different things, like the Amazing, the Superior, the Ultimate. Like, you've got those little descriptors that really set these characters apart from each other. And you've got to really be careful with that.
Yeah. Going back to Andrew and Toby, there's also been rumors that we're going to get a lot more of them, at least a few more appearances in different movies. And some are thinking Morbius, that there might be reshoots involving a Spider-Man of some sort. What was the other one? That Toby or Andrew might show up in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be crazy considering they've been doing reshoots that, if I'm not mistaken, No Way Home is one of the movies that they've cited as reasons for reshoots.
Yeah.
And I would probably put a crisp $5 bill on the bar for a bet and say that Tobey Maguire's the one that pops up in there, because what better way to do that than to have him reunite with Sam Raimi?
Yeah.
And like have a maybe show a little, maybe bring please bring Kirsten Dunst and show us a little bit of Peter and MJ, because after that speech in No Way Home, I wanted to see that. He's like, oh yeah, we made it work, me and MJ, and it's like, God, just show me that.
You know what? The other one that people have been asking for in social, and I don't know, I don't think it has any basis of being true. But they want the Tobey Maguire verse, whatever we're calling that, for his version of Doctor Strange to come through, and it's Bruce Campbell.
Oh, dude. Dude. That's the burrito. Give me that. Give me that. Bruce Campbell as Doctor Strange is even better than the proposed cameo where he was going to be Mysterio in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man.
I want Bruce Campbell as Doctor Strange, and then I want a team-up movie between him and Benedict Cumberbatch, because the snark and the sass between those two Doctor Strange. And then, who would you bring in as Wong, though? Because you need Wong. Did I ever tell you the story about when I talked to C. Robert Cargill, who wrote the first Doctor Strange, or co-wrote the first Doctor Strange?
Actually, I know exactly who I'd bring in as the Sam Raimi verse, the Raimi verse Wong.
Who?
Bruce Campbell and Jackie Chan.
That's just what I was thinking.
Because
that was what I was just thinking, and I want that.
Jackie would be, I mean, he has the martial arts side of it. He's a little bit older, and he has that level of fun that Wong brings.
Dude. Jackie Chan was the best part about. I liked the Lego Ninjago movie, but I think he was the best part because he was just. It was so fun to see him. He breaks out a little bit of the martial arts skills, but he's this really fun, warm character. And I don't think we gave Jackie Chan enough of a chance to be a fun, warm character. And it was just, yeah, action, 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 and comedy. And it's like, dude can do so much more.
Yeah. I'm looking up. There's one movie that that is probably one of my favorite martial arts movies that he's in.
Super Cop?
No.
Rumble in the Bronx?
No, actually.
Mr. Nice Guy? Operation Condor? I know most of them. I haven't seen them all, but I know the names.
The Forbidden Kingdom.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I really like that movie. I think it's fun. I think it's...
Take a look at that.
Have you never seen it?
No.
It's Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Jet Li.
Michael Ngarno. He's the kid from Sky High, Will Stronghold.
I've actually never heard of this one. I was thinking of a completely different film that he did.
Really? You've never heard of The Forbidden Kingdom?
No, but I'm feeling like a fool for not. I really need to dive more into international cinema. International and classic cinema, I've been trying to branch out even more into, just because I feel like that's where some of the most interesting stuff is happening or has happened. And I just really enjoy, as much as I enjoy big budget blockbusters, I really do like to sort of see what's out there.
No, serious. Forbidden Kingdom is awesome. So it really is.
I need to see this.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. Boy, we kind of went all over the place today. It was an all-you-can-eat burrito buffet.
The multiverse, the burrito verse, if you will.
That's where Deadpool comes from.
I come from a place known as the burrito verse. It's a lot more fun. You should try it sometime.
Oh, Mike, I think we're going to end it there for this week. We had some fun, and that was the burrito verse.
One real quick.
Okay.
One really quickly, because everyone's talking about it. Elmo and his grudge against a pet rock.
Yeah, what the hell?
Just come out.
Real quick, what the hell happened here? Because I haven't seen the clip.
So there's this whole clip where on Sesame Street, there's these two characters, Elmo and Zoe has a pet rock named Rocco. And there's this scene that's become a meme lately where there's 3 cookies and Elmo wants this oatmeal cookie instead of a chocolate chip cookie. But the rock got the last cookie. And then she's like, no, you can't eat it. That's for Rocco. And he's like, the rock. I'm just paraphrasing here. He's like, he's a rock. He can't eat a cookie. Show me that he can eat a cookie. So apparently Elmo, cute and cuddly kids late night host, has a grudge against rocks. And he tweeted about it where he's like, has anyone ever seen a rock eat a cookie? Elmo just wants to know. And then who steps in but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, saying that, yeah, rocks do eat cookies. And he's coming for you, Elmo.
How great would it be on Sesame Street if they kind of reenacted this, and then the Rock talks and he's like, my big brother's here, and then walks Dwayne Johnson.
Ooh.
And
Sesame Street, we're open.
And then because it's Sesame Street, he's going to sit down and have a talk with Elmo. But in my version of it, he sits down and has a talk with Elmo, but it's the kind where he puts his hand on the back of Elmo's neck. It just kind of subtly squeezes until Elmo's eyes pop off.
Oh, it's a total Bane power move. He looks at him and is like, do you feel in control?
Yes. Someone did a breakdown of that scene on TikTok lately.
Oh, you'll have to send that to me. But Tom Hardy should be the voice of The Rock, and it should be the Bane voice.
Yes, you merely adopted the cookies. I was bored of them.
Cookies, Elmo. I eat cookies. I also eat those.
I'm going to end on this note. Quick Bane story. My old cat, Kinnick, if you did, Kinnick, he'd start meowing at you because he knew it was playtime.
Oh.
Kinnick, meow. Like, he'd get all fired up about it. It was awesome. So, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com. I miss my buddy. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line as he does every Friday on the show. Mike, you have a good weekend, okay?
You as well, man.
So I bet you all thought this was where the podcast was going to end. Well, real quick, right as soon as we stopped recording and wrapped up the show for the week, we got a little bit of sad news that came across the wire. Mike, you want to let us know?
Certainly. Sidney Poitier passed away this morning at the age of 94. The man he's just Hollywood legend, the first Black actor to win an Academy Award. He was just a prolific acting talent who was in films like The Defiant Ones, To Serve With Love, In the Heat of the Night, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and he was also in one of my personal favorite Sneakers. But then he also directed films like Uptown Saturday Night, Piece of the Action, stir crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Oh,
Like
wow.
this man just knew no bounds. You couldn't say enough good things about Sidney Poitier because across the board he just showed amazing talent and humanity. And he was actually the Bahamas ambassador to Japan from 97 to 2007 and was granted the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama in 2009.
Wow.
And I mean, I know it's one of those things where the man is 94. We don't live forever, but it's just there's some of these talents that you kind of think they're going to be there forever just because of how big they are and how brightly they shine. And we would like to pay tribute to Sidney Poitier and send our condolences to his friends and family as they grieve his passing.
Sir, we wish you nothing but the best in the great beyond. Have a good week.